Hello and welcome to another screencast. This one is about Dynamic Semantic Publishing as introduced by the BBC, and I've built a demo application using blog post data from Read Wide Web, parsing that and pumping everything through the Semantic and OpenCalais APIs. Once this is done, you end up with a dataset illustrated on this screen. So you can see we have posts which are linked to comments and those to commenters. And the posts are also linked to authors. And coming from the semantification APIs, we get location information, organizations, products, persons, and technologies, which are basically just tags. And now what we can do with that is that we can build so-called entity hubs, where you take any object in this information space and the system will dynamically generate views containing related information. For example, if you select a person, you get the posts they are mentioned in. If you select an author, you would get the author's posts and maybe a list of products mentioned in the posts by that author. Okay, so let's build an application using the data and exploring it a little bit. We're going to use paggr. I won't talk too much about it. It's a widget-based CMS and it will allow us to create a layout where we can arrange the different entity widgets, and we can then explore the links between them. So let's start with a posts widget, authors maybe, and tags. The widgets are now connecting to the Sparkle API, which contains all the data. So each widget is really just Sparkle query plus some formatting. So that's the Sparkle query and that's the raw result set. Now the interesting thing is that different from classical archives pages and blogs, we can use each item to filter one of the lists. So for example, I can drag Marshall on the posts list. I will get only those posts that were created by Marshall. And then I can add, or I can again use this entity and filter the available tags. And then I can take one of those tags, for example, the iPhone tag, and drag that again on the posts list. So I will get only those posts with that tag authored by Marshall. Or I can use one of those tags and see which other authors created posts with that tag. So that's the basic functionality, and that's already a little bit more than the typical archives pages provide these days. But there is more. There are not only the structures that were already present on the Read Wide Web blog, like tags and authors and the posts, but thanks to the semantification APIs, we get access to additional dimensions, such as products, organizations, locations, and similar stuff. So let's add a products widget and a people widget and also a commenters widget. So now we have 6 filtering dimensions and each one is connected to any other one through the linked data graph. So for example, I can't remember if I ever left a comment on the Read Wide Web blog. Okay, apparently I left 2 comments. When I take this commenter entity and drag it on the posts widget, I can see exactly which posts that were. Or when I drag a commenter on the tags box, I can see the typical technologies this commenter, in that case me, is apparently interested in. However, this dashboard is not an entity hub yet. So we're looking only at one relation at a time and we have to drag it from one widget to another one. But in an entity hub, you just select one entity and you get all the relations and related entities going out from there. So we'll add focus functionality for this demo. Usually you would have stable URIs, but we're using a dynamic approach. But still we can provide a permalink So as we can see here, we have a new drop zone here, and we can now pick any author or any entity actually and drop it on the entity selector. And what now happens is that all the widgets are refreshed and they all use the author context to display their items. For example, the related posts will only show posts by that author. Related authors are people who have written about similar topics. The tag list is filtered, the products are filtered, the people are filtered, so these are only the people mentioned in posts by that author, and likewise the commenters are filtered too. But what's really cool about the linked data in that read-write web system is that we can combine the identity hubs with the semantic drag and drop filtering. So let's reset that view. Search for a certain topic. Let's say semantic. So we find the semantic web, and with a click we can create that dynamic identity hub. So we see the latest posts, the top authors, related tags, products mentioned in the context of semantic web posts, people, and commenters. So we can see that Todd is a top commenter on that topic, followed by Kingsley. And we see in the authors list, for example, that Sarah has written 13 posts about the semantic web. And we might be interested which products she mentioned when she wrote about the semantic web. So we can, within this semantic web entity hub context, we can take an entity and filter the other widgets. So this filtering is now done in the context of the semantic web entity. So we can see that Sarah wrote about the iPhone, mentioned Twine and a TV guide, and we might now be interested, okay, what type of TV guide is that? So from that product we can filter things down to the post where she mentioned the TV guide using semantic web technology. And we may also be interested if there are any certain persons involved in that product. So you can see, okay, Nova Spivak is involved, or if anyone commented on that post. So you can see, okay, there are 3 people who commented on that post. So Christopher left 1 comment, and we might wonder if Christopher commented on other stuff as well. So we can create a new dynamic entity hub. And we can see that he only commented on that post. Okay, that's it for the demo. And I hope you could see that dynamic semantic publishing can be applied to existing weblogs today, and that it offers much richer possibilities to explore and interact with the site's assets. Thank you very much for watching.